Alright, Schlockmeister fans, a sequel to one of the best horror movies ever made. Phantasm II. Let's watch. This girl named Liz has been having dreams about Michael.
Now he's after me.
Mike, that tall man of yours did not take Jody away. Jody died in a car wreck.
And we pick up right where the previous film let off. Reggie finds Mike being dragged away by one of them Jawa things. And then he himself gets attacked. The house starts on fire and he's able to grab Mike just before it blows.
It was all in your imagination.
7 years later now.
Fucking what?
Mike's being released from a psychiatric institute. Mike finds him digging up bodies. Or empty coffins, I should say.
That's the third one I dug up. Now, does it strike you a little strange, Riggs, that every single corpse in this entire graveyard's missing?
Always looked the same.
So they wander the country, basically following a path where the tall man must have been, because
Small towns are like people. Some get old and die a natural death.
except they're a little late. They go into the funeral home there, and they find what appears to be Liz.
Oh my God. Liz, what has he done to you?
But don't trust her.
You play a good game, boy. Come if you dare.
Meanwhile, back in the real Liz's town, this is happening from a priest. He seems to know what's going on and is trying to prevent it from happening. Speaking of Liz.
Graveside service is about to begin.
Things are definitely not right in this town. Anyway, they were driving along and they picked up a girl named Alchemy.
Hi.
Oh, sorry to start with you, pal. I picked her up about 50 miles back. Mike, this is Alchemy.
That's Liz again.
I've got them both.
I believe that's her family members. So Liz obviously is in town
They have no need in your services.
where Tallman is now.
Who are you to question the word of God's servant?
And Mike and Reggie are on their way.
I've got to find my grandmother.
Your grandmother's gone. He's taken them all. He's harvesting the entire town.
And here comes the ball. And Liz gets visited by her grandma.
Oh my God. Grandma.
Grandma Jawa now. Liz runs outside and bumps into Mike. And they recognize each other from their dreams. Anyway, Reggie and Alchemy have some passion, although she's unusually, weirdly aggressive.
I can't tell.
And there's a mess downstairs.
Chloe, kidding. I'm a 19-year-old kid. You're a bald, middle-aged ex-ice cream vendor.
So they think they're overmatched to tackle this guy.
Come on. Let's go kick some ass.
So Liz is being held captive by a guy who apparently has Sam Raimi's ashes. And turn the tables on him. But there's always someone chasing them. Sometimes the ball gets the wrong guy. Poor guy didn't fare too well.
Come on, Mike, let's go, okay?
And we have a chainsaw war with Reggie that he wins. And then using the sphere as a key, they walk back into a familiar room and are met by a familiar foe. And then they jab a tube in him and turn on the hydrochloric acid. Which pretty much melts the tall man. Remember Alchemy? She showed up again.
Come on, get in, let's go.
So after they torch the place, they take off with her.
You know, I've been thinking about us.
This is not happening. We're gonna wake up. It's a dream.
It's only a dream.
It's not.
Alright, let's talk about Phantasm 2. Now, I have all these movies on DVD, and I have Phantasm 1 and 5 on Blu-ray. However, I did buy I can't remember the name of the company that put it out, but it's a Blu-ray set with all 5 of them. It's the PAL Blu-ray versions that came with the big silver ball, and I was going to watch that today. Unfortunately, it wouldn't play in my player for some reason. Every once in a while I come across a Blu-ray, even though I have a region-free Blu-ray player, that won't play. Phantasm 2 is one of them. Don't know why. Thankfully, I have the DVD. So anyway, this movie came out in 1988 and happened to be about 2 years after I first discovered Phantasm. And so I was super excited about this. It had been, like 9 years since the first one came out, so I never thought there would be a sequel. Now, apparently, has Universal put this out? I think so. Yeah, Universal. This was the least amount of money they spent on any budget for a movie in the 1980s, $3 million. However, it was also 10 times as much as the original Phantasm had. So, cool, right? So anyway, they decided not to bring back Mike, or at least not the actor who played Mike. They have a different Mike for some reason. And they bring back Reggie as well. And no Jodie in this movie. But nonetheless, I still think it's pretty cool. Basically, it picks up right where the other one left off. Then Reggie and Mike escape from the house. Then we fast forward 7 years. Apparently Mike has been in an institution for that time. He's getting out now because he finally has told his psychiatrist that none of this really happened, but then he does believe he was just saying it. He's been having dreams about the tall man, and apparently there's this girl named Liz who's running around. She also has dreams about this. So anyway, he hooks up with Reggie again, and he starts exploring cemeteries and finding that there are empty graves. They're all empty graves. Everybody digs up is empty. So eventually he's able to convince Reggie that yes, this tall man is the real deal, and that's what's happening. Reggie's house blows up, so the two of them go on the run and basically head east, and they find town after town after town that's been demoralized and completely basically evaporated by the tall man. The towns are empty, they're ghost towns, and everybody's dead. They finally catch up to him in this town, and that happens to be the town where Liz is. They hook up with her, and they reach the cemetery there, and they have their confrontation with the tall man. A lot of similar things from the other movie. We see the ball attacks a few people. Near the end of the climax of this film, the tall man is in one of that white room with the weird sound, and they manage to put a ball into his head, and he starts shooting out yellow, like embalming fluid or whatever the hell is in him. And then they escape from there. And this chick picks them up, Alchemy, who had been driving with them for a while. She drives them away in the hearse, but then turns out she is the tall man herself. Reggie is kicked out of the car, presumed dead, and Liz and Mike are in the back, and Mike is saying, it's just a dream, it's just a dream. And then the tall man opens the little partition there and says, no, it's not. And then something grabs them out of the back, just like the end of the first Phantasm movie, and that's how it ends. Don Coscarelli, way to go. So anyway, I believe this is the most popular sequel of all the sequels from the Phantasm movies. I have not seen this movie actually all that many times, maybe only 4 or 5. I saw it a couple years ago, though. But I do like this movie. I just wish the original cast was all back together, but that's not the way the studio wanted it at the time. You can tell there's definitely a higher budget in this one than the first one. It's good. I like it. It just didn't have the charm of the original one, that's all. But nonetheless, I still thought it was a pretty good movie. A couple of nude scenes in it from that girl, Alchemy. There's also a nude corpse, if you're into that stuff. Of course, it was a real actress, I guess, who wasn't dead, I assume. But anyway, as always, they opened the door for more sequels, and we knew there are 3 more that came after this. So, I think this franchise is dying for a remake at some point. So, but anyway, that's it. Phantasm 2. It's available on DVD. It's available on Blu-ray, PAL Blu-ray. It's just all over the place, so you can get it. I'll leave a link down below if you're looking for it. So anyway, check it out. Phantasm 2. Is this your favorite sequel from the Phantasm films? Let me know. Leave some comments. Watch it. Bye.